Hey everyone, so today's video is going to be a big first impressions video slash chatty get ready. We are going to be using a bunch of new releases from Maybelline. These products aren't coming out until July. I'm not sure when this video is going out, but they're releasing in July. If I can find any more information about it, I will list it down below, and I will also post down below the products that I have used. So I went to an event about a week ago and I haven't used any of this stuff yet, and it was for Maybelline's newest releases. I think there's about 13 or so new products coming out and they are looking very, very exciting. The two notable ones for me are the Nudes palette and the Matte and Poreless foundation. So I'm going to be using all of the new products today. There are like 2 mascaras, so I'll only be able to use one of those, but I will try to use everything in this video. Do keep in mind that I'm extremely pale, so the foundation probably won't match me, but we will try it nonetheless. Excuse the fact that I look ragged and tired. I am very ragged and tired, so we're just going to jump right into it. So there are 2 new face products from Maybelline coming out to New Zealand. There is the Matte and Poreless foundation. The lighter shade is 115 and I'm not sure how dark it gets, but this is just a reformulation of the Fit Me foundation and it's more mattifying. I have swatched it on my hand. Definitely does feel more matte. I think I would prefer this one to the regular one, but maybe if you mix them together it'd be like the perfect kind of like natural foundation. Anyway, so we've got this, and then the other new product, I haven't even heard anything about it. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I think it's fairly new to release anywhere, but it's the Maybelline Master Sculpt, and it's a little you could call it a duo, I suppose, and it's got a contour and a highlight. So this foundation is supposed to be for normal to oily skin. My skin at the moment is probably pretty normal, not even really that dry actually, it's probably pretty normal, so this is good for me. I know for a fact that I'm shade 110 because I have to buy it from America, but it is so much lighter, so if you have a skin as light as me, this colour probably won't match you. So I'm going to take a clean flat top brush. This one's from XOBeauty, and I'm just going to start buffing this over my face. For the record, I don't have any primer on, I just have some moisturiser that I applied like 3 hours ago, so that's probably not even doing much for me right now. So that's what half of the face looks like with the foundation on. Do ignore the discrepancy in the colour. It's definitely matte. It feels very, very soft. It feels like skin texture basically. Poreless, I'd actually say I look pretty poreless. I have really large pores around here and they definitely look, I don't want to say non-existent, but basically non-existent. Not loving the colour match, but the foundation itself is seriously matte. If you were dry skin, you'd need to really, really moisturise because my skin feels like there's no foundation on it, which means that it's completely absorbed, completely like matted down. Like it's really, I don't think I've ever had a foundation this matte before. Like even Double Wear isn't this matte. It doesn't look matte on the skin, but it literally feels like I haven't got any makeup on, which is amazing. Okay, so it's been about 10 minutes since I've applied the foundation. We're just going to ignore the colour match because we know it doesn't match, so we'll just move past it. Talking about the like texture and the feel on the skin, I find that it's kind of accentuating around my nose where I have dryness. It's going over acne fine. This one is dry, so it's a little bit caked around it, you know, just like clinging to the dry patches. My forehead looks patchy for some reason. I don't know if you guys can pick it up right in the middle, but that's okay. I'll put concealer over the top. It does look really nice, although I think it would apply better with a primer underneath, especially like maybe more of a moisturising one. So I'm going to go ahead and apply some concealer, and I'll set my concealer and then I'll be right back to try out the contour powder. Now moving on to the contour, I'm going to take the Master Sculpt and I'm going to go in with the contour side obviously, and I'm using my faux NYX Eater brush because Lord knows I'm not going to pay $1 billion for a NARS Eater. I definitely will say this is a warmer contour than I normally go for, but it still looks good. Gives some nice depth to the skin. I like it. Nice. It's like a decent amount of pigmentation, you know, it's pigmented but not like too pigmented. I'm just going to swirl on a little bit of blush. I'm going to use Elf's Wanderlust just because I don't have any Maybelline ones on hand and that's just what I want to wear, so just so that I've got some colour down, and then I'll apply my thingy on top. Now I'm going to use a fan brush to pick up some of the highlight. Seems quite powdery, quite a lot of it's flying away. Oh, that's pretty. I like that a lot. Okay, the highlight is on point in this little thing. It's a really nicely finely milled but still decently shimmery highlights. That's definitely a winner. I do like this little duo. I just wish the colour was slightly cooler. It's more of like a contouring bronzer in my opinion. It's not like just a straight bronzer and it's not like a straight contour. I feel like it's kind of in the middle, so if you want like a natural bronzy contour, this is probably a good product to go for. Brows. We've got 3 new brow products actually, but I only have 2 of them here. There's the Brow Precise and I have Deep Brown. There's also the Brow something else, don't know what it's called, I'll write it here or down below, which has like a pencil, a gel like pencil at one end and then a powder on the other end that you use for your brows. And then of course the oh so famous and kind of hyped up Maybelline Brow Drama, which comes in 3 shades, transparent, light and dark brown I believe, or maybe it's 4, I don't know. But I haven't used this yet, but it's got like the big puff ball at the end, so I'm excited to try this out. But we'll go ahead and use the Brow Precise first, which is a shaping sharpenable pencil for shaped brows. I don't know, we're going to give it a go. Swatching it on the back of my hand, this colour looks to be totally cool, which is good because Lord knows I don't like an orangey brow pencil. Okay, let's give it a go. I'll start with this eyebrow, which probably wasn't a good idea because it's my more average eyebrow. Looks alright. I found that it was crumbling a little bit when I was using it. Like there's little crumbles of brow product or brow pencil in my eyebrow. There's a little bit down here that I've brushed away, which is interesting, but I don't know. It looks quite natural. I like it. It'll be good for like an everyday brow pencil. It is quite dark though, which I'll need to sort of be wary of. So if you kind of go too hard with the deep brown, you're going to have like seriously dark brows. So unless you have like just black brows, I wouldn't go for this one because it is very, very dark. The brow pencil is okay. It's not the worst one that I've ever used, but it's not the greatest either. Definitely decent though, so yeah, it's alright. Now for the Brow Drama. I am excited for this. The colour again looks very, very cool toned. It's just that one there. Let's give it a go. I'm going to try and build up some colour in the inner part of my brow. We'll see how that goes. Definitely is quite pigmented. We'll see how well it holds my brows in place. I do like this Brow Drama. I don't think it's as good as my L'Oreal one. Like my L'Oreal Brow Artist Plumper or whatever it's called. And I don't think this is the best design ever for a brow brush, because my brows are quite thick and I still find that for my tails I've been getting product up around here and I've had to clean that up. Whereas if you had thinner brows, you probably get excess product everywhere, so do keep that in mind. My face is so orange it's actually off-putting. Touching my brows now that they've had a little minute to set, I feel like they feel crunchy, which is good. It's exactly what you want in a brow product. So definitely two thumbs up for the Brow Drama. 2 thumbs up for the Brow Drama. So for eyes, there are 2 new eyeshadow releases. There are the Colour Molten Duos, which I love the look of. I can't wait to try these. They are, I believe they're like, oh, it says layers of colour melt into each other. I've heard it explained at the event as a gel eyeshadow or like a gel consistency. I find that I swatched them at the event and they are similar to Colourpop but more oily. So if you've tried a Colourpop eyeshadow, similar sort of concept but more oily. So I've got a couple of these. I've got some unnatural colours which I won't show you guys today, but in the neutral range I've got Nude Rush, which has like a pinky beige and a kind of, I guess like a golden brown, and then in the other one, which is called Taupe Craze, there's like a warm, well kind of like a neutral medium brown and a deeper taupe shimmery colour. And then the main release that all of you guys are probably quite excited about is the Nudes palette, which has been so hyped up for like ages and ages and ages, and I swatched it at the event, and like they said there, the pigmentation isn't crazy, but it's not supposed to be. It's supposed to be a nude palette, so it's more of a natural, like buildable coverage of eyeshadow. So I will show you guys a look using this, so let's just get started. So the duo that we're going to use today is the one in Nude Rush, and if I swatch them, yeah, they're definitely like Colourpop-esque, where you can kind of like push them and they're quite bouncy, but this one actually feels quite similar. One of the other ones I swatched on the night felt quite oily, but you can see the coverage / pigmentation isn't as intense as that of the Colourpop shadows. But we're going to go ahead and I think we'll use the Peach slash pinky coloured side as an eye base. So I'm just going to work my finger into it, just get some pigment on there, and I'm just going to place that over my eyelid, which as you can see is kind of just like a more pink toned colour, but very, very natural. This is another product that I hadn't heard anything about, so I don't know if this is new to America as well, or if it wasn't very well received, but it's going on really nicely. But as I said though, the pigment isn't like crazy, but if you build it, it's definitely visible. I know that different colours would have definitely have more pigments. Maybe that wasn't the greatest one to show the pigmentation. Alrighty, let's go ahead and move on to the nudes palette. Now this palette was designed so that you could use them in quads. So like these four, and those four. Sorry, I need to look in the viewfinder to make sure that I'm pointing to the right ones. Or you could use it in trios, so like those three, those three, those three, and those three. Or even if you wanted to, you could use them in duos. So that's kind of the theory behind the colour placement, whereas normally you'd kind of see it from light to dark. That's why it's kind of all sporadically placed, just so that you could use it in like segments, I guess. So as you can see, it definitely is pigmented, but the pigmentation isn't out of this world, which as I said, the pigmentation isn't supposed to be out of this world just because it is a nude palette, which in my opinion I think the pigmentation should still be there, but that's the justification for why it isn't crazy pigmented. This colour here is shimmery, so I'm going to go in with this brown up the top here to define my crease, and I'm just using an XOBeauty brush to define it. You can see it applies to the eye more pigmented than it applies to the hand, which is good. Which I feel like is almost always the case with eyeshadows. They are, well, in my opinion, they tend to work better than they swatch. Then I'm going to go in with this shade here, which is the lightest shade, obviously. I'm going to pick up some of that. This one doesn't look as though it's going to be that pigmented, but we can build it. And I'm going to apply this over top of my lids, just kind of going where that base, like gel eyeshadow, whatever it's called, the molten one, went. This looks similar to MAC's, I was gonna say lemon, no, MAC's vanilla pigment, which has like that kind of orangey sheen to it. If you've ever used it, it's like white with the orangey golden reflect, so this looks very similar to that. I am going to take the espresso brown colour, tap off some excess. I'm just using the same blending brush from XOBeauty, and I'm going to pat this or swirl it into my outer corner. These are blending really easily. I'm not finding that I'm having to work really hard. I do just have to change the blending brush because that smaller one isn't the greatest for blending out darker shades, but it definitely is, you know, decently pigmented, at least the colours that I've tried. So I'm just picking that shade that we used on the lid, just over my lid with my finger, just to get a little bit more pigmentation, and I'm just going to blend that into the dark brown backwards and forwards, just so that it's not so stark, the line between the two. Using my finger is definitely working to build up the coverage. This shade here would be a really great brow bone highlight for most skin tones. Might be a little bit dark for me, but anybody who's not ridiculously pale, this would be a good shade. Now I'm going to take this little pencil brush and I'm going to pick up the shimmery brown, which is that one in the corner, and I'm going to blend this underneath my lower lash line just because I wanted to use it in the look. So we're going to use it down there. Now we're going to move on to mascara. There is no new eyeliners in this collection, but there are two new mascaras. There is the Great Lash Real Impact Mascara, which looks like this. I don't really like the original Great Lash, so I won't be trying this one today. I'll use this one at a later date, but today I really want to try the Lash Sensational Mascara, which I was really excited to use until I realised that it was waterproof. I'm sure it'll still be fine, but I'm not a huge fan of waterproof mascaras, but that's okay. This is in the shade Very Black, and this is supposed to give your eyes a full fan effect. I haven't heard much about this mascara that I can think of off the top of my head, so we'll see how it goes. I do love Maybelline mascaras though. They are by far my favourite from the drugstore, so let's have a look at this wand. Oh, I like it. Very scoopy. The bristles up the top here are short and the ones down the bottom are a lot longer. I can see though that the longer bristles are grabbing onto product and it's coming out a bit clumpy, so just give it a quick shake and it should redisperse the product. Alright, so we're going to apply it to this eye first and then we'll have a look at how it worked, how it applied. So that's what the mascara looks like. It looks good. I I don't really know what else to say. To me it looks like my kind of mascara. It's given me a lot of separation, like they're volumized but they're still separated. They do look a lot longer as well, so I like it. I didn't love it for my lower lashes just because the brush was so large. I found it hard to use on the lower lashes, but for the top lashes it looks amazing. So let's just match up this eye and I'll be right back. So it's the mascara on both eyes. I do really like it. It does give a really large impact. Not that that's what the mascara claimed to do, it claimed to give you a fan effect, but I do really love the mascara. I'll definitely continue to use it. You guys know I love Maybelline mascaras. I will let you know how the waterproof formula is, if it's too hard to remove or if it is just right. I will definitely keep you guys posted. And the final product that I'm going to be showing you today that is releasing is a new collection in the Colour Sensational lipstick line, and to be honest this is one of the things that I'm most excited for because these lipsticks are by far my favourite in a drugstore. I have tried all of them from Rimmel to Revlon to Australis to Chi Chi to I don't even know what else we have at the drugstore, but I've tried almost every single drugstore brand, and Maybelline takes the cake as the best one by far. So this is the Rebel Bloom collection. I think I mentioned there are 10 shades in total. I have 9 of them, so if you would like to see a swatch video, do let me know and I'll try and track down the final shade so that I can do a full swatch video. But the shade that stands out to me the most is this one here. There are some really beautiful pinks, and there's some purples and lilacs, and then there's like a coral and a peach. But this one is the one that I think will go really well with this eye look, and it's called Blushing Bud number 705. I haven't even swatched this yet, so let's... Oh my god, this looks amazing. It's like a beautiful like nudie rosy pink. It looks amazing. So let's just apply this straight to the lips because I know that these go on like butter. I don't know about you guys, but this seems a little bit lighter in the swatch and in the application than it is in the tube. Is it just me? Anyway, I still think it's stunning. It's definitely a My Lips But Better kind of colour. The formula, as always, is impeccable. Good job, Maybelline. 2 bajillion thumbs up for the lipsticks because I love Maybelline's lipsticks. So this one here, again, is Blushing Bud. My final thoughts are basically that I recommend everything. I don't recommend this shade of the foundation, but I love the way that it looks and feels on the skin. You can still see this blemish, but that doesn't bother me, and I didn't even put any concealer on it, so if you had like perfect skin this would be ideal. Even if you don't have perfect skin you can just spot conceal, but I haven't set my face and it looks perfectly matte, and I'm confident that it would stay matte for a good portion of the day. The brow pencil and the brow drama, now that it's on, looks great. I love the highlight and the contour. The contour is slightly warmer but it looks stunning. The nudes palette is amazing. The Colour Molten, don't know how I feel about those just because they aren't insanely pigmented if you look at them, but I haven't really given them a fair try on their own. Did work well as a base, but you know, there's plenty of bases out there if I'm being honest with you guys. As I said, the mascara and the nudes palette are great. The nudes palette is a little bit more natural / sheer, so that's, I guess, personal preference with that one, and I do really like the mascara, and of course love the lipstick as per usual. Let me know if you have any further questions about the line. Don't forget to check the down bar for all of the products used and mentioned, and I might try and put some extra info down there if I can. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you did enjoy it, and I will see you all next time. Bye!